opportunity probably about 10 years ago, but it's been a long time since we caught up with this man. Certainly somebody that I loved in my youth, continue to absolutely adore. Bushwacker Luke, how you doing, man? Great to see you. You look amazing.
Whoa, good day, matey. How the hell are you, mate? And to all the people out there.
I'm doing great. I'm doing even better now. Good day. Good day. Oh, man. What have you been up to?
Everything, mate, everything. Even cleaning the kitchen sink. I've been doing everything. Out of the country a couple of times in December. Keeping busy, mate, on the road.
So you're still making towns?
Still making the towns and hopping in the ring at the end of matches. At the age of 79.
Wow. Congratulations to you. You don't look a day over 70. I'm just kidding. No, man, it is fantastic to have you here with us. And I mean, for me as a wrestling fan in the 80s and early 90s, especially, the Bushwhackers were all over the place. I mean, what was it like to be part of such an amazing time? And really, your act was just incredible.
Yes, it was a great. After being the bad guys for so many years. You know, we tagged up in 1965, and it wasn't until 88 that we became the good guys.
What did you like better,
mate? I haven't got the screen right. I've just got a little corner picture of myself. I can't see the rest of you guys.
Can you see us now?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I don't want to see you. How about that, mate?
We can see you, so that's fine.
I'd like to see you guys and that, but I don't know what's up here. I gotcha.
Okay, I think there's a little lag on it. I was kind of we were switching back and forth.
I never pushed all the buttons, mate. You know, getting old and that. You know, you don't push all the buttons when you get on later in life.
So
it's great to be on the rest your show, mate, and talking to all the people out there. I love my fans.
We're very excited to have you on here. Now you mentioned, I mean, forever you guys were the sheep herders. You were terrorizing people in the ring, and then you made that switch and you became those lovable Bushwhackers. What did you prefer?
Well, we preferred being. I shouldn't say this. But as heels, we could get the people to stand up and we could sit them down. Pardon me. You know what I mean? And but the trouble is, when we went to leave the arenas a lot of nights, we had to wait for a half an hour and would come out and our tires would be slashed or some windows would be knocked out in the car. That happened many times, mainly in the South.
Now, was there ever a time when you felt really unsafe?
Oh, yes. Yeah, many times we went out of the arena in police cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And one time the car was turned over on its side. You know, they saw us coming, so we used to come in and park way at the back or get out of the way of everyone unless they had security where the cars were parked.
Wow. Yeah, that's absolutely insane and such a difference.
We had many riots over the years.
Yeah, and you caused quite a few of them, so.
No, it was just because of our verbal stuff on the television, telling the people that I don't want to bring up now. I'm the good guy, anyhow. But that was hey, it was all business, mate. You know, we were foreigners, and you know, being a foreigner in a country, you can get a lot of hate, especially when you SHIT on the country and put your flag up in the air. They don't like that, and we did quite a few burials and put the American flag over people and stood over them with our New Zealand flag, and that's when we used to have wild riots.
Yeah. It was an insane time for sure. For you guys.
Remember one
now,
time,
of course,
I remember one time in Trinidad, that
Yeah.
we covered them, and I was laying down near the ropes. The fan came up, and I was covering the guys. They actually grabbed my feet and pulled me out of the ring, and that was on a cricket pitch. Like a baseball pitch, but where they played cricket. English game, and then they pulled me out,
Yeah.
and everyone started coming, and boy, that Butch got out with a chain and started swinging it. And I got back in the ring, and that night the police,
Oh my gosh.
the police in Trinidad don't carry the guns or anything; they carry batons. No guns, so they had to come up and make sure we
They're
got
beating
away.
people.
We had a
Yeah.
pickup come up to the ringside and put us in the pickup because we're in a pitch, and that our bags we're in a prefabricated dressing room on the pitch, and someone else had to go back and get them, and as we're leaving the grounds, the cricket grounds, someone threw a brick or a big
Oh my
rock,
gosh.
and it came through the back window and went into Butch's head. All the glass went to the back of his head. I remember spinning
Ooh.
that night. We had to stop and get a 6-pack or a 12. Butch was sitting there drinking. Well, had a pair of tweezers in my hand, and I was pulling all the pieces of glass out the back of his head.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy
Now
night.
from the you guys had a lot of crazy nights. Was there like a favorite match that you had during that time as the Sheep Herders? Like a favorite opponent?
We
or
had
something?
some great feuds, a lot
Yeah.
of feuds over the place. One long one I went for 13 months was against Roddy Pipe and Rick Martel in the Northwest Championship Wrestling. We used to work from the top of California up to Vancouver, Canada, a lot up
Wow.
that coast in that area, and that feud went for 13 months.
That's
Unbelievable, huh?
amazing.
We'd go
Yeah.
into 6-mans. We'd go into 6-mans, and they'd have Andre the Giant, and our general in our army was Buddy Rose. He used to carry our flag. Remember Buddy Rose?
I do.
Yes,
I do. Yeah.
yeah.
He was
Those days
amazing.
he was only 240, 245. Boy,
Before
and
the
he could do
blowaway
anything.
diet.
Huh?
Before the blowaway diet.
That was.
Yeah, he
I
had
was
the
just going to
blowaway
bring
diet.
that up. The powder with the blowaway diet. That's when
Yeah.
Vince brought him back. Vince Jr. brought him back, but he'd worked for Vince Sr. and had his Buddy Rose. He had his girls with him and all that at that time.
Wow.
He had a great brain. People don't know this, but Buddy had a great brain for the business and was one hell of a worker. He stayed in that Portland area for 10 years, working on top, semifinal, and main event for 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, of course, when you guys and a lot of these guys really, when they jumped over and started working for Vince McMahon, Jr., a lot of it changed, obviously. For you guys, for example, you became the lovable Bushwackers. What kind of motivated that? What were you looking for a change, or was that just a different vision for you?
No. We were working with NWA, and we just did an angle with Lex Luger and Barry Windham, and that the week before I got the call. I'm going to go through it. We're in Columbus, not Columbus. We're in yeah. Anyhow, I got a butcher. I never used to work my drum. Your drum's your core, your middle. And Butch used to do 15 minutes at the end of a workout. So I went out to the phone box those days and had the old phone boxes, the red boxes, and that in the just like the old.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Remember the old phone boxes on the end of a street or street corner or anything? I went out to that, picked up, dialed my home phone to pick up my messages, and there was a message from Pat. Now I don't know who it was. Pat my back, Pat this, Pat that, and I said, and it said ring this number, and I thought it's concerning wrestling. I thought, God, I never thought it was the guy. Anyhow, I ring it up and it's Pat Patterson. And he says,
Wow.
hang on a minute, I'm going to hand the phone to you, to somebody. And then I heard, "G'day Kiwi, this is Vince McMahon." And he said, I'd like to bring you up here and talk to you guys. You interested in coming in? I said, I've been waiting for this call for a fucking long time. I was sending you dad tapes. The old,
Yeah.
not the VHS, the ones before VHS that was 3/4 of an inch wide. I'm trying to think of the real. Anyhow, in the early 80s, it wasn't a VHS, it was something else. I said, I've been sending tapes to your office for so long. Anyhow, he laughed and he says, when do you want to come up? I said, as soon as possible.
That's awesome.
So he said, there'll be tickets on your doorstep when you get back. And I gave him my address to our home. But Jimmy lived next door to each other in Charlotte, in North Carolina. Oh no, we had Kevin Sullivan between us. Anyhow, I got home Wednesday. I told the office, oh, our passports are running out. We're on H1s, and I have to go either to Trinidad or Canada. I have to go to a British port to renew them, because they wouldn't let us renew them in the States. They had to go to a British embassy elsewhere. So I told them I was going elsewhere to get the passports. They renewed and that. We flew up to Vince, sitting outside his office. Everything was first class from the airport to his office. And the tickets too, going up to, after flying economy all the time with the NWA, here we are now flying first class.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm in the waiting outside his office. They tell us to come in. And he said, introduces, blah, blah, blah. We're sitting at the desk. He says, I'd like to bring you in as faces. Butch got up on his desk and put his nose about a foot away from Vince's. And he says, if you could make these faces a baby, go for it. And he said, well, look at the noggins on my top baby faces. Jake the Snake, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage. They haven't got the sweetest kisses, have they? And no, we said no. And then I popped up as being a booker for 14 years before, booking territories. I said, bring us in his heels and turn his baby faces. And that's when I learned, you don't tell Caesar what to do. Caesar, I don't do things that way. We do vignettes, and then we bring you in. He says, I'm going to bring you up for vignette for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we'll start you. So, we went home, and then next week there's tickets. So we came up and did about 4 or 5 vignettes. Went home, did it another week, and I think we did. I think we did it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And while we're doing this, he's got us on the payroll. So that was good. And we did those, and then all of a sudden he gave us a starting date, and here we came. And Butch says to me, let's do what we did when we swing our arms up. Before we used to swing our arms up when we're heels and go, ah, to the people. Oh, yay. He said, well, let's turn it around and do that marching to the ring.
Yeah.
And that's when we did the high step marching, swinging our arms. And then I think the following week, he bent over and give a guy a kiss or a lick on the head. And all the people were started putting their heads out to be licked. I used to put my hand on their head and lick the back of my hand,
Right.
head to head, and go like that. It looked like I was licking their head, but
it did.
I was licking the back of my hand.
Yeah.
I think he was licking their whole face, because he got 10 years later he got staph. He got a bad staph. And and then it went to, it's a long story about that.
Yeah.
We went to Vince in 88, finished, last match was at the start of 97, 202, 202 or 201. We worked the show on a Sunday night, and we had to go to a fair in Columbus.
Okay.
For Bobby Fulton, believe it or not, on the Tuesday. And I called up Butch. I said, I lived on the beach in Clearwater, and he just lived over the mainland about 300 yards from me. I went over the bridge and turned left down the street. He says, oh, I'm not well. I can hardly move, he said. And I think I'm dislocated something. So I called the chiropractor up, and he says, we'll bring him in tomorrow morning. The next morning, my stepson went and picked him up in the car. He went to his home to pick him up. He had to put him on a computer chair to wheel him out to the car, as all his joints is locked up. And they took him to the chiropractor. He worked on him for a bit, took him home. On the way home, I did the show up in Columbus, and then I came back and I called him when I landed at the airport to see how he was doing. There was no answer. So on the way home, I drove to his place. My son-in-law my stepson picked me up, and on the way home we went to his place. We got in no one answered the door. We got in inside his home, and he's lying on the bed. And all he could say was, water, water. That's all. We got water for him. And I had one of those, not amyl nitrate, one of those stuff, when you get short of breath, you go on it to fix your lungs. I put that in his mouth and tried to
like a
puff him a
nebulizer
few times and that he sort of came to a bit and then went out again.
That's scary.
Dialed 911 and they were there straight there. They grabbed the sheet off the bed, pulled him over onto a stretch, took him straight to the hospital. The staff had gone right through his body and become septic. He was in hospital for 3 months.
He's very lucky to survive that. He was.
Yes. And then he got better, started training again. He lost a lot of weight. He went down to about 160 from 230. And then he got back to about 200, 210. And he said, I'm going to go back to New Zealand because that's his home country and his daughter's all there. And he divorced his missus. He just finished his second marriage, so which he met a girl in the States. And so he packed up and went back to New Zealand. Started going to the gym there, and the guy said, you have more than me. The owner said, can you look after the gym? So he started looking after the gym. This is just outside the capital city, Wellington. And he met another woman in there. Next minute, he fell in love. And 2 years later, he got married to his third wife.
Wow.
Now, that was 206. 209, he fell out of bed. He was delirious. They rushed him to the hospital, and the staff came back to life in his body.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And they had to go right through his body, and they detected it. They said, we can drain you all the time. You can go. They put him in physiotherapy when they sort of healed him up a bit. They said, we can come to your home and drain you all the time, or we can operate and take your hip out. He said, the staff is embedded in your hip bone. He says, take that effing hip out. So they took it out, and he had one hip for 4 years. They couldn't put another one in because they were worried about staff still being in his body. So they did tests for 3 or 4 years till they put the new hip in. And they just put it in the end of 2014 and the start of 2015, we went into WWE Hall of Fame. So that's why he had the 2 crutches on the stage when we went in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I remember watching the Hall of Fame and thinking, like, God, it's so good to see them together again. I can't even imagine the loss that you felt when he was no longer around.
Oh yes.
What a
Hey,
rough life.
I'd been
What a rough,
we'd
yeah.
we'd been together, adding his 3 wives together. I've still been with him longer than that.
You're his road wife.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
when he came back in 223, when was WrestleMania in Los Angeles? 223 or 224?
I think it was 23. I'm not positive
Yeah,
about that.
223. I've been
Yeah.
trying to get him to come up all the time, but we had
Yeah.
COVID, and all that bullshit. Anyhow, 224, 223, he came up. His wife and his family didn't want him to come to the States, but he loved the States. And he came up to do our first signing that we in 24 years. It was
Wow.
24 years since we
What a
did a
treat.
signing in the States. And those days, it wasn't a big thing. Like in the 1990s, there was no WrestleCons or any convention for wrestlers,
Yeah.
So we came up to do WrestleCon in LA, and we had a big advance in the 20s to 30,000 advance. And the night before, we did a live one. He came in 2 days early. We did a live signing in the hotel room and it was on Facebook to let everyone know he was here. And then I went to wake him up the next morning to go for breakfast. He didn't come to. That's when I had to call. I couldn't get in the room. I had to call the security. They opened the
Yeah.
room, and he was laying there unconscious.
It's horrible.
And he went to the hospital, died 3 days later.
Wow.
It was a sad
Yeah.
situation. I
It sure was.
bedside
Yeah.
when he took his last breath.
Yeah. I remember being devastated when I heard the news.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you guys were one of my favorites in terms of tag teams.
And mate, the worst thing was me having to ring up his wife and his kids. His wife was in the capital city, and his kids were 300 miles away. And they all told him not to come. And here I am after ringing him, and tell them that he's on the machines. And he told us all he never wants to be on machines. And I said, he's on machines. They're gonna. This was Friday. He went in the hospital. Says they're gonna try to bring him to Sunday morning, because they try to keep his organs fresh. They put him out, so with some medicine, so there'll be no harm to the organs. And they're going to bring him to Saturday night, and they said he'd be okay Sunday morning. He never came to when I rang up, and they said we're going to go in and examine him, and we'll let you know when we find out what's going on. They rang me an hour and a half later and said he's brain dead. He'll be on machines for the rest of his life. And that's when I had to ring up his first family and tell them the news. And boy, that was hard. And they got on Zoom on the Sunday night, and he was out of it in the hospital bed, but they all talked to him from Wellington and from Wanganui, way up north, Whangarei, the towns. They talked to him, and then after they talked to him, the Zoom went off, and then they took him off the machines, and he died an hour, 10 minutes later. I sat with him. I was sitting with him all the time since 7 o'clock. It was hard.
I can't even imagine. And you guys, I mean, you were beloved for a time there.
We were like brothers. We were like brothers, mate.
You were, yeah.
Except we didn't wipe each other's asses.
No, not even at the end.
No, we didn't do that.
Okay. All right.
We were that close, though. You know what I mean?
Did you lick each other to sleep?
No, but
I'm just kidding.
We've been together so long as a tag team from 1965 since 1965. when I told people put Jimmy wrestled Andre or Gene Ferree in the 60s, 68,
Right.
he never come over to US or North America till 71. And we were wrestling in number 68 and handicap matches around New Zealand. Only the
Yeah.
big towns that we do tags, but the rest of them were handicap matches. And then he came over in 71 to a company called Grand Prix, Andre, and they were running one town a night. We came 7 months or 8 months later. That company was running 3 towns a night, and the Rougeos were running one town a night. The places was popping wide open, and all the top stars in North America were there.
Do you think wrestling could ever get back to that point? Because I feel like it was so big back then. It's different now.
No, it's completely different. That was more psychology then. It wasn't, you'd do a spot to bring the people, they would pop if you did a big spot. Yeah. And, you'd work up to that spot. You know what I mean? And you go to do it and then work down and that. Then you do it and then babyface would come out on top and the people would blow off. Now, the baby faces just come out and cream the heels at the start.
Right.
Where they don't. The old story was the heels took over and the baby faces came back and shined. The heels took over again. Baby faces come back and shine. And then the heels would get mad and that's when they'd lower the boom on them and we get the heat. Those days are gone. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Well
gone. For sure.
And you'd build up. You'd build up to the heat. You'd build up, and then at the finish, you'd do all these, the high spots and big moves that the people hadn't seen. Now they come out, and it's changed a lot. Evolution of time. They come out and do those big spots, and then when they go to the comeback at the end, they wonder in these house shows, they wonder why the people don't pop because they've seen all those spots earlier on in the match.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It's definitely like a TV product now. Anyway, it's like a TV show.
I remember Dusty Rhodes saying at a meeting in Charlotte in the office around the round table, and there's only about 10 or 12 of us. Blackjack, Ray Stevens. I can't remember how many. About 10 of us around the table, and Dusty says, "This will be at television." With a lisper. Dusty's lisper. This will be a television. This is going to come. There'll be no house shows. Now shows, brother. It'll be all the house shows will be televised, and it'll be, it'll be out of studios. And he said that in about. I went to Vince in 88. He would have said that in 86 or 87, and he was dead right.
Yeah.
It became a television business. And I still remember when I started working for Vince. Sorry about talking all the time.
But I love it.
I remember
I can sit and listen to you all night.
I remember Vince getting $59 million from USA a year for the product.
Yeah.
That was in the 80s. 59 or I think it was 59 million to 60.
That's a lot of money.
$1 million, and now they get $1 billion. You know what I mean? $1 billion for 4 years or something like that. Peacock pays $1 billion. Fucking I don't know what Netflix are paying them. What he's paying Netflix, but USA is paying $1 billion for 5 years.
The Saudis. Like there's just so many sources.
And look at the top boys now. They may work twice a week, if that, and they're making 18 million, 16 million a year.
Would you have traded that, like work less for more money, or was it like that enjoyable to be part of that time when you guys were really like 7-8 times a week?
We were
twice on Sunday.
Twice on New Year's Day, twice on Christmas, and between Christmas and New Year's,
must have been hard.
Vince had 2 shows going every day. The the Northeast and the Northwest and Midwest, there are two shows going because people are snowed in and they want to get out to see something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the arenas used to be packed. I see he did that. They did that this year too. They did all those northern towns in upstate New York. You know, right across the Christmas to New Year.
Okay.
Different times, mate. Guys, it's different
Definitely.
times.
Yeah.
Completely different, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. But you were such a beloved part of so many of our childhoods. Okay, so this listener wants to know, what was it like, for example, to do those vignettes with Mean Gene in the jungle?
Ah, good. Hey, hang on a minute,
That looked
mate.
like fun.
It's just telling I've got my phone plugged in. It's telling me my phone's running out. Hang on.
Uh-oh. You all right?
Yeah, it's telling me. Hang on a minute. I gotta change it. I have to change the cord. You have to go and talk for a minute, mate, without me.
You got it. You got it.
Because
How am I going to do that?
Maybe there's something wrong with this cord.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, take your time. Yeah, no, and I have Maestro with us from WCW as well. Maestro, like that time. Maestro from WCW, Rob Kellum. I don't know if you know him. Do you guys know each other?
Rob?
Yeah. How you doing, Luke?
Of course I do. Yeah, I'm looking at him now. Hey, I
there's a baby face right there.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, great to see you.
I'm looking at you and I'm wondering, you're not talking and that, and I know the face, but I couldn't pick the nose. Hey,
you couldn't quite reach it.
With my nose, you can't miss it. Look at this thing.
Yeah, right.
There's no bone in the end. They've taken all the bone out.
It's all gone. Yeah. Oh man.
Hey, give me a few minutes. Give me a minute.
You got it, man. You got it. Yeah. Rob, I'm looking back on this time period and like it was for me, especially like the late 80s when they kind of showed up in WWE. The sheep herder stuff, that was all more like magazines for me. You know, I'd read about them and I would be terrified of them, and then they show up and I'm thinking they're not that bad.
No, you know? Hey, George, sorry, I can't let this go because you're right in the part. George Napolitano, the main magazine, or the two of them. George and Bill. And I met George in 1972 when I came over to North America. I was in Canada, and George came up to the big show in Gerry Park. That's where they had the Olympics in Montreal. We had a show there. We drew 30,000 at that time. You know, Killer Kowalski did the big thing with Morris Vachon, Mad Dog Vachon. He did the thing that they did years before. He came off the corner with a knee drop and ripped Morris's ear off, Mad Dog's ear. Boy, Mad Dog did a hell of a job on his ear. This was the build up, because that had happened with the guy way back, well known. The guy had his ear taken off. Yeah, so that's how George came up with that. Yeah. And that's when I started getting on all the magazine covers.
Was it worth like all the physical toll that all this took on your body?
Yeah,
would you do it again?
I'm fused and all that sort of stuff, mate.
Yeah.
And both hands are numb. Both hands are dead numb, and that I just found out that I have to have an operation on both hands. I found out that 2 days ago.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so my shoulder and both shoulders. I can only lift the shoulders up that high.
Oh no.
Both of them. That's the maximum. I can swing them up if I swing them. You know what I mean? But I
was going to say, don't they know how you have to be able to?
I need two shoulders. I've already been in on the table once.
Wow.
And they couldn't do the job.
Mm.
Wow.
Crazy. So Rob, how you been doing, mate?
Sure. I'm healing up. I've been I'm doing better than I was.
You're above, mate. The old saying, you're above ground. We're above ground.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're above
Yeah.
ground. Thank,
Yeah, he had a
thank
rough
the
couple
Lord.
of years
Thank
there.
the Lord.
We're very happy to have him with us still.
Yeah, it's
For
good to
sure.
see you. Anyhow, mate,
Oh, great to
Yeah.
see you, sir.
it's a long time since we saw each other.
It sure has.
A long time, a long time.
Right.
God, this is still surreal for me. I could talk to him for 5 hours, and it's just like it's so cool.
I ran with, hang on. I lost you.
It's a dark match.
It's a dark match. Hang on, I gotta try and get you
Yeah,
back.
there's a video thing there.
Oh, hang on.
Let me see if I can do it on my end.
I'm coming back to you now.
No, I can't. Okay. It's like a seance. There we go. Yep. You had it for a second.
Hang on, yes.
Steve Logan in the room after dark. I like that. Oh man. Well, while he's figuring that, yeah, there should be like a little video. Hold on. All right, we're gonna remove this and we're going to add this. There we are.
Hello.
What do we got you on the phone now? Can you hear me?
I got Rob. Can you hear me, Rob?
Yes, sir.
I haven't got the other guys yet. I haven't.
You can't see or hear me? Uh-oh.
Haven't got Brady. There you are, mate.
Am I back? Can you hear
see
me?
me?
I can. Yes.
I got no volume. I got no vocal.
Can you hear Rob?
Can you hear me?
I guess not.
Oh,
One
goodness.
second. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I hope we didn't lose him. Well, Luke, I don't know if you can hear me. Maybe try leaving and coming back in if you're up for it. Oh boy, let's try this again. Hey, can you hear me? He can't hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
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 They say I'm a backstage. Can you bring me on?
You're on. You can't hear
You're on.
us?
Hello.
He can't hear us.
Can you hear it?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. I'm not sure what to say. Luke,
I can hear him.
let's try 1 second. I'm going to boot him. And hopefully he's able to call back. We'll bring on Kathy while we wait. Wow, we were really rolling there, and then all of a sudden, he just started having technical issues.
It always happens.
Yeah, somehow they know.
Hi,
I thought
Kathy.
we had a pretty good run where we weren't having problems.
Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Stro, how you doing, bud?
Great. I'm doing much better.
Good.
Man, that was really good, too.
Oh, yeah.
I still wanted to find out why they started licking people, though. Because when I did that in college, it was just unacceptable.
Brady.
Yeah, okay, we have him back. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, well, I can't hear you. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
You're getting a big one for that.
I'm going to eat you. Oh.
Ah. Oh, Luke, you're great. Thank you so much for calling back. I felt
No,
like we
I'm
were
back
really
on here,
enjoying
mate.
this. And,
I'm just setting up again.
all right. Well, what was it like? So this fan wants to know, what was it like to do those vignettes with Mean Gene?
Oh, great. Mean Gene was great, mate.
Yeah. Was he he always seemed like he was a lot of fun to be around.
Oh, he was. He was
Yeah.
a humorist. Him and Bobby Heenan together, they could
Quick-witted.
You could take a match out of a card and put those two in the ring, and they entertained much better than a lot of matches.
Wow. Okay.
They were great.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Do you expect the Bushwhackers to take off like they did in WWF? As good guys like that?
Hey, we've been pros a long time, and that.
Sure.
They gave us the name, and I had a lot of people afterwards say, "How can you change from a violent heel to that?" And I said, "That's easy, money." Yeah, the old saying is, "Money talks, BS walks."
Yeah.
This person wants to know. Yeah, this person wants to know why you guys started licking. Like what? How did that get started?
Well, one night, I tell you, I mentioned before we were marching to the ring early this was in the first month, marching to the ring, and everyone was marching ringside, and a woman or someone leaned over the rails, and Bush grabbed her head and licked it, and that's when everyone started.
Just random.
That's when everybody started putting their head over to be licked.
Wow.
Just from one instance like that. And of course, Butch, being a pro, Butch caught on to this. He said, now, and we started doing it. Now, this is the bad one. Hang on a minute.
Yep.
I haven't got I don't know what's wrong with my backdrop.
Wow.
I have to work like this. It's, the back of me is not right. Anyhow, Vince found out about the Polynesian people in our country, the Maoris, how they meet. When they meet, they rub noses, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
like an Eskimo.
We started. Sorry, sir.
Like an Eskimo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started doing this in the ring, and that when we got in, we'd do our march. And then we'd look at each other, rub our heads, and rub noses. The fans thought we were headbutting each other. They would meet us outside, and they would come and fucking bang with their head against ours.
Oh my gosh!
And that we stopped that bastard. We stopped that gimmick straight away.
Right.
They didn't know. We had people calling us fags first. Because they thought we were kissing each other, and then they realized we were hitting each other on the head. Well, that's what they thought. A tap on the head with head to head, and all of a sudden that started that. Bang with the head.
Right.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, it sounds like it. How did Vince McMahon feel about that? He sees baby faces. He thinks he's getting terrorists, and then you guys come out and you're going like this and you're licking people. It all seems so random, but I think it's why people really took to you guys. I mean, it was just
mate,
it was fun.
People remember the two marching, as Jesse would say, Ventura. Here comes the two marching morons. and that now all the people who remember, they don't remember wrestling spots. They know Ric Flair, woo, and his walk. You know what I mean? And that, and all they remember, they remember the character. And I think that's why I'm still doing it. I was in the ring on Saturday night. I'm still marching to the ring. I didn't have a match. I came into the spot at the end of the match, and That's all they remember when they see us walking. The fans all start swinging their arms and that, and the whoa and the yay, and the kissing, or the head lick. That's what the Bushwackers. Oh, they're those two morons that marched to the ring and licked hands. That's what they remember.
Yeah. But people still talk about it. My dad just did it at Christmas. I was like, "How you doing, Dad?" He's like, "Oh yeah," like that. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, yay.
Oh.
That was when it was to do the whoa. Now, for instance, I'm going
Yeah.
off track. I'm going to go off track here now, mate, and tell you, yeah, I'm charging. I'm charging. Oh. I got new batteries in me like the ever ready. Now,
Yeah.
I just said the phone is charging fast. My phone is charging fast. Anyhow, I got two big highlights of my life, and I'm going to hit you with one.
Okay.
Nine. I'm going to get my 1992 Wembley Stadium. Brett
SummerSlam.
versus Davy Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brett versus Davy Boy. And hang on a second, mate.
Yeah, you're fine.
Someone's knocked at the door. I'm going to leave you hanging.
Okay. All right. This is amazing. I thought we might get like 20 minutes or something. He's been great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. We didn't even have to bing on Bushwacker Rat, which is good too.
Are you joking? Can you talk to Bubbles, Mum?
This one goes in the garbage. It's just all
How you doing, Kathy?
Hanging in.
Yeah,
Good, thank you.
we're having fun tonight.
I'm on the radio.
I don't know how we're ever going to end the show, but we're having fun tonight.
Whoa! Yay!
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
96,400 people in the arena. Wembley
Mhm.
Stadium. Takes about 3 hours to get those people in, right? Now,
Yeah.
the people are waiting for some action. They're hungry for something. We are the first match, which is, on big shows, when I booked, I always made sure, I'm not putting us over here now, but I always made sure that the first match of the show was something to lift the people up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I always
Yeah.
put baby faces over to just get the people in a good mood. Anyhow, we were first match. I'll tell you who's in the match. The two nasty boys and the Mountie against me, Butch, and Jim Duggan. We
Wow.
marched to the ring out there. It was a long walk to the fucking ring because, it's Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
And there's me doing the wall, Butch doing the yay, and Hogan doing the, and Duggan doing the, oh, and that. We got in the
I bet your
ring.
arms were tired.
We got in the ring. We went to one rope.
Yeah.
Whoa, yay, ho. We went to the next rope, the next rope, the next rope. We'd gone around
That's
once. Now, when you listen to a soccer game in Europe or in England, how they're all singing?
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole arena is singing with us, doing the same thing.
Wow.
We went around that ring under each rope doing the whoa, yay, and ho for 9 minutes.
Wow.
By the time we marched in, the time we touched them, we got told. The time we touched them, but the whole arena was doing that noise with us. The match was
That's
so simple,
amazing.
mate. You can imagine. We only had to do. We did a couple of spots where we popped the people, and it was so easy.
That's
It's one of our matches I'll remember for my life. I don't remember in the match, but I remember doing a couple of spots. I'm talking to you guys, and it's echoing back to me.
yeah, we're getting an echo. Rob, I think it's on yours. There you go. Sorry.
It's on me.
Don't know what's going on. Maybe try calling back. We seem to have you having all kinds of issues tonight.
Do you want me to go off and come back on?
Did I lose you?
Do you want Brady? Do you
No,
want
I
me to
think we're
go
good.
off and come
I
back
think we're
on?
good.
Just
No, I
stay
think
on.
you're okay. I think you're okay. For
Okay,
some
yeah.
reason, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Maestro's line is echoing. I don't know why.
Yeah. So that was
Maybe,
one of the highlights.
yeah, Rob,
That
maybe
was-
you call back.
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead. You're
That was
fine.
one of the highlights of Butcher My Life. You know, in the ring.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned, it's funny because you mentioned Brett. Obviously, he was big with Wembley Stadium. But as a
Oh.
tag team, you know, you had the chance to work with like Brett and Shawn Michaels and like, you know, all this young talent. Did you know how good some of those guys were going to be?
I wrestled Brett. I wrestled sorry, not Brett. I wrestled Shawn Michaels in '84, and that I came back. I booked it for Joe Blanchard in San Antonio for 2 years, and then I came back, and Shawn had come from, and he was trained in Texas by good
Jose
guy I know well. Anyhow,
Lothario.
he went to
Yes.
Minneapolis, and he came back there with he worked for Vince as one of the Japanese in a hood. With Tanaka. He worked
Tanaka, yes.
with Tanaka. I can't remember his name anyhow. And Shawn was still a teenager. And we said to Butch, we said afterwards,
Diamond.
that guy's going to go a long way. And he was
Yeah,
still
yeah.
in the teens, young, and but he was impressive. He had psychology. He knew about psychology already. And then getting to Brett, when I went to work for Stu in '73, Brett was 11
Yeah.
then, around 11.
Wow.
Because the first night there, we were working
Yeah.
in the ring against the champions, and we got DQ'd. We used a chain, and we got DQ'd, and the two guys were bleeding. Our two opponents were bleeding, and someone came to the ringside and started throwing kids in. I'm gonna let you guess who came to ringside anyhow. And they started throwing one kid in, another kid in. And then the next kid was bleeding, and the next kid was bleeding, and he yelled out to us, "Champ, put the boot to them! Put the boot to them!" And we didn't know who they were, and they were selling. Believe it or not, they were selling. We put the boots to them, and they were selling.
Yeah.
And these kids, the oldest would be about 13 then, and because when we work in the territory, there's only two hard kids that were working. Smith was fucking around, but there's Bruce and the fireman. I can't really remember his name now. They were the two working in the ring, and and Brett was still a young kid. He was about 5 years younger.
Okay.
Anyhow, when we left the ring that night and went back to go to the dressing room, there was we hadn't met the promoter yet. This was our first night there, and this was television on a Friday night in the pavilion in the showgrounds in Calgary. So we come back to go back to the dressing room, and there's a big thick guy sitting there with wide at the hips, about 5'10", 5'11", 270. And he said to us, what are you fucking doing? They're my kids. And that we said,
Oh boy.
have you guessed who it was anyhow? I said, this guy threw them in the ring. It was Abdullah the Butcher, who threw the kids in the ring and told us to put the boots in them.
Oh my
We'd
gosh.
known Abby because he'd come to New Zealand
Yeah.
when he was starting, or not when he started,
Okay.
after a while, And we knew Abby too. When we came to Montreal, he was working for the Rougeaus when we were working for the Vichons and Edward Carpentier. So we were staying in the same hotel as the opposition.
Okay. Wow.
And that's how that's when we renewed renewed ourselves with Abby. And anyhow, that was the first night in
He was a character.
in Calgary, putting the boot to the kids. That was played in the next morning on television, Saturday morning, and every 3 times a year, Stu would do back to back. He would do the Friday in the pavilion, in the fairgrounds. Then he'd come back in the big building. It was called the Corral then, and then and do another show Sunday afternoon. When we came back on Sunday afternoon, people were throwing stuff at us. And shit, we thought, well, the kids were known. Stu Hart's kids were well known. They sold programs around the arena every week. You know what I mean? And everyone knew the kids. So when we put the boot to them, we got a lot of heat. And we had heat, not that it would draw. The people would just see us once, and they threw stuff at us because we beat up kids. You know what I'm saying?
And all because of Abby.
That was and then we won the belts that night. The second night, the third night, we worked evening on Saturday night, and then that Sunday.
Wow.
Those days, the tapes were bicycled around the territory. So Edmonton, they didn't get that tape till the next Saturday. That was the old. That's what the old day. That's what it was in the old days. You know, the close towns who were near and get the same station, they would get it live. You know, a day late, and then it would be a week later before the rest of the territory would get what was going on.
Right.
So when you did a program, you had to back up for these other towns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were 1 week behind.
I mean, it happened a lot back then. This listener wants to know, what was your favorite territory?
I can't hear you, Brady.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me now? Mate?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Edit mic say. Huh. 1 second.
Hello.
Hi, Luke.
Can you hear me, mate?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you hear me? This is like a bad cell phone commercial. Nothing.
Brady? We're going down.
How about... Can you hear me now? No.
Yeah. I'm gonna. If you hear this, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No.
I can hear you.
I'm gonna go off and come back in again to see if that helps.
Okay. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Stro. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. What a night, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh, goodness. Oh, it's been going really good, too. Oh, Brady's okay. Are you still there, Kathy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, that's good. Just waiting on
Any good sympathetic tag teams now?
Yeah, right. Waiting on everybody else.
Yeah, really. Do you remember Bull James?
Bull Jane, yes.
He did a show in Medford where I work at in a
Okay.
brewery on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
That place was crazy.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, that sucks. So he left.
They say
He
he's coming
said he was
back.
going to try to call
Well, he's
back.
here. He's here.
Brady,
Can you hear me?
I'm in the back of the studio.
I think everybody's ribbing me.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
All
How could
right.
I miss that? How could I miss that beautiful face?
Look at that. Yeah, I got a tiny little ugly noggin. Luke, I was asking you before. So, like, what was your favorite territory from back in the day? I mean, you worked all over.
Well, I love the Oregon. It's the people I work with that made the territory. And if you're making money, that's one of the favorite territories. Now I work.
Okay.
I worked a lot of territories, and that as the Northwest against Roddy and Ricky, Roddy Pipe and Rick Martel, and then Memphis. We sold out for about 5 months with the fabulous ones, Steve Kern
Wow.
and Stan Lane. And then with Bill Watts, we had that big run with the Fantastics. You know, that could have still been going, but that's the only territory that me and Butch walked out on because of the money with Bill Watts, you know. And we were the last
Okay.
match every night. Barbed wire cage matches every night. When I walked out the next day, they called me and said, "We'll pay you this much money up front every night." And I said, "Well, why weren't you paying that before?" You
But
know,
you had to walk out to get it.
We never went back there
Yeah.
till one situation happened, and we ended back up there when the Crockett's bought it,
Okay.
UWF. But we had that big
Yeah.
run with the Fantastics there, and then with the Fullers, Robert and Ron Fuller and Billy Golden. Not it's their nephew. What's Golden? What's his name?
Jimmy Golden?
Jimmy Golden.
Jimmy.
Yeah, yeah. The other. Who did I say Golden? I just had it. Billy was Jimmy's dad, and we did the same angle with him that we did. He was the commissioner. And we did Lady Mouse and all that sort of stuff because he wanted to get us out of the territory. And we did the
Yeah.
same with Jerry Jarrett's commissioner too. That was his father-in-law. This is Jerry Jarrett's father-in-law. We did the same thing there, Lady Mouse, and you know, and that's when Jerry and Billy come to Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee come to the rescue, just like when we did, Jimmy Golden's dad. You know, the Fullers and Jimmy came to the rescue. So we had those angles that went for you with the Goldens and the Fullers. That angle went over a year. You know,
That's
and then we had
amazing.
the Armstrongs. Then we had the dad and the son. The son was a great worker. He's dead.
Okay.
Armstrong. You know, who,
Yeah.
who
Brad.
was
Brad
the
Armstrong.
kid? Huh?
Brad. Yeah. Brad Armstrong. Is that
Brad,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Brad and Dad were a hell of a tag team. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for
we worked
sure.
with them. You know, so there's a lot of places I love because we had the great workers. You know, great workers.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely an amazing time.
Different era, mate. Then a different era. We were living on the beach in Pensacola. You know, and it was Joe Luke and me had a 5-bedroom house on the water.
Wow.
I don't know how he got the deal. We had doctors on one side and lawyers on the other. and they were a long way away. We had people running around in our yard screaming, and they wouldn't have heard us. And they
Wow.
were good people because
Okay.
when they had barbecues or something, they used to invite us over. And that was right on the water, Pensacola. That was a beautiful place, you know.
I'm sure.
Sugar sand, white sugary sand, clear water. You'd be up to your waist and wriggle your toes. You could see your toes just like in a bath water. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah.
place, Pensacola.
Probably a lot like New Zealand, right?
Yeah. Oh, New Zealand's much colder, mate.
Is it? Okay. I've never been there.
Arthur and Seeker were living there too at the same time, but they were working for Bill Watts when we were working for the Fullers.
Okay.
And Samu, he was 14 years of age and I used to work out at the gym with him when he was 14 years of age. Later on in life, I worked with him everywhere. Samu and Rikishi. Well, he wasn't Rikishi then.
Yeah, he
Samu
was
and
Fatu.
Fatu.
Yep.
Samu and Fatu. Boy,
Yeah,
and
Intriguers.
they were just like Dad and Arthur and Seeker. In the ring, they were magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 It was. God, you're bringing back a lot of great memories, Luke. It's been a real pleasure to talk with you here tonight.
Those two went. They were working for NWA, and then when it changed to when NWA changed to WCW, they were working there then, and they changed their name. I think the Head Shrinkers or something or other, the Samoan something or other. But yeah, Vince called them the Head Shrinkers when they came there.
They were not the SWAT team. I forget what it was.
You know, yes, they were the SWAT team for
Is that what it was?
WCW in the early days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great, and then Rikishi went into Hall of Fame the same year as I did.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you need to go? I feel like you gave us a long time tonight.
Yeah, mate. I'll come on with other parts of my life later on if you want me to.
Dude, I would love it. Real quick before you go, what do you have going on? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, well, I look after a restaurant at Clearwater Beach called Panfilo's Beach Bar and Grill. We serve food to 2:30 in the morning, close at 3. Last place for the tourists to get something to eat when they fly in late. Panfilo's is always open for food.
That's awesome.
Delicious food. Awesome. And of course, I'm on X, Facebook, and IG. It's got the planet with my head in the middle. Bushwacker Luke. And come on and join me. I've got someone that looks after all that for me. But they keep me every day. They put stuff up for me. I give them stuff and they put stuff up.
Yeah, that's great, Luke. Thank you so much. Real quick before you go, can I ask a huge favor? As if an hour wasn't enough. Could we get you to record what we call a bumper to play on the beginning of the show?
Yes, I certainly can, mate.
That's awesome. If you could just tell people who you are and remind them that they're listening to In the Room. You're the master at it. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. But the show is called In the Room.
In the Room. Tell me when you're ready. Are we all?
I'll do a countdown.
You want me to do this off when you get offline?
We can do it now. I'll cut it out for the we'll pull it from here. That's fine.
In the room.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll do a countdown. Ready? Yep. 3, 2.
Whoa, matey! WWE and Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame here, Bushwacker Luke. And if you want to listen to something great about life in the wrestling, go to In the Room and stay in that room. I'll lock the door so you can't get out. Show's called In the Room, mates. Looking forward to seeing you there. Bushwacker's out. Whoa!
Thank you so much, sir. It's been an amazing time. We'll definitely get you back on soon. Yeah.
Okay, mate. Good to see you, Rob.
You too,
You
sir.
guys have a good
Take care.
day.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
You too.
God bless.
Thank you so
God bless
much.
you.
God bless you.
Bye bye.
Take care. See ya. All right, there you have it. Bushwacker Luke.
That was great.
Wow.
That was awesome.
What did It was really good. He was fun.